Hello everyone, welcome. And my name is Monica. I'm going to tell you something today about our newest innovation at CM.com, the customer context platform. I'm going to walk you through a tour throughout the entire platform, which is all new. It's based on a demo account, so the data behind this, what you're seeing, is fake, but it takes you through all the new features that we have in store for you. Let's take a look at this first step. This first step emphasizes how important data is for CM. We already had this customer data platform, basically our V1, and this was really helpful for a lot of our other CM products, because whether you're using Marketing Cloud, Service Cloud, Halo, for your agents, everything builds on top of this customer data platform. What you're doing here involves everything else that you're doing at CM.com. So it's really important that you're getting this right. So we realized this, and we also encountered some struggles for some customers, so we figured we can do this better. Let's get to this tour. Every day you can start your journey at CM in this dashboard where you're seeing the other products that you're having and whether they are live or whether they are having any problems, and how many data is coming in from all your customers. So this is really your first step into the customer context platform. It emphasizes again how important it is, because what it says, the Service Cloud reads the same profile that your marketing emails do. The AI agents pull the same order history that the Service Cloud uses. This is really your single source of truth. And it has always been important, also in the customer data platform V1 setting, but also very much in this customer context platform. The architecture you're setting up is very important. First, you're going to start by setting up some of your data. Before, in the customer data platform, we had this more tabular kind of setup where you had your customer data, where you could, for example, save first name, last name, email, phone number, and everything that they're doing. So the transactions, web data, for example, conversations with agents. But there are many customers that have a slightly different setup, where it's not just customers that are important, but also maybe the family of the customers or the memberships that they're having. There are more kinds of ways that we want to look at this data. And by this new data manager, where you can set up different kinds of data structures, this will be enabled. Maybe this is a little bit vague, but let me get to this next step, because this is a very nice visual, this graph, which explains more about what the customer context platform can do for you. So before, we only had this profile, like your regular customer profile, your standard, typical John Doe customer, where we solve all his information. But now we can also save as different entities, so all these different kind of bubbles in this graph, other kinds of things about the customer. So, for example, let's say that you're having a pet shop, a pet web shop, and you not only want to save your customers, the people that buy, for example, pet food, but also information about their pets. So, for example, maybe I have a cat and maybe I also have a dog, and you want to save this information about me because you can recommend to me then specific dog food that is relevant for the dog breed that I have. And that requires some kind of storage of this other kinds of profiles, which is not necessarily human, but in this case is my pets. And this is also, for example, the case where you have a business that has more memberships, for example. There's no fixed shape anymore. That was really the case in the customer data platform, but it's way more flexible, way more unique. You can use the templates that come out of the box. So for your standard use cases, you can start by getting started with these templates. So it doesn't necessarily involve a lot of hassle, but you can elaborate with more complex flows, with more complex data architecture. So you can really define the objects that matter to you, whether that's customers, orders, devices, contracts, tickets, anything. And you can draw the relationships between them. That's maybe even more important. Not only those separate bubbles, but how do they relate? Is there like one membership I can have, or can I have multiple memberships? That's kind of relevant to know. All that information is the basis of where you can start really to see the advantages of this new customer contact platform, the flexibility that you now have. So this graph is totally yours to shape. You can pick any object as your starting point and you can hop around to all these other things. So you can, in the end, have this full graph which shows everything that's going on for your business. Of course, you can still bring in data to fill the model. This is, of course, very helpful. And this is pretty similar to what we had at the customer data platform. There are just multiple integrations from our marketplace which you can use. You can use also direct file imports or our API. Every source that is connected is immediately then bringing in new data from these outward sources into the CM platform. So for example, let's say you're having an order at your web shop, then by using a webhook that's connected to your Shopify web shop, within seconds that order is also visible in the customer data platform, or as we now call it, customer context platform. Because what you have seen with these relationships, with these different entities, it's really important that we now capture this context. Everything that's happening around customers. Not just the customer, but everything that happens around him. Every event lands in activity log, so you can find everything that's happening, every data that's coming in and how that affects your profiles, your segments, your workflows, for example. You can see everything in this activity log. So it's no longer black box of what's happening. You can truly see, view, go back through everything that's happening. Here you can see this individual, Jamie, who you've also seen in a few steps back where he's ordering coffee. And you can now see at his profile view also what's he doing more besides that order. So you can see that he's opening some emails, that he's getting some WhatsApps delivered. He's maybe joining a segment, placing another order. You can really go individual on each of these profiles, but not just these profiles, because that's the old way. Maybe also now in your pets or memberships or clubs or bank accounts or whatever. You can look through everything if you're connecting it to each other. And the segments have also really stepped up compared to before, because you can really make these more complex now. Before, you could only set these segments up by looking at this one customer profile and their events. But now you can also combine all these different entities. So maybe you want to target customers that have these kinds of memberships or go to these kind of clubs, but are also maybe in a certain age group or having these kinds of pets. You can combine all these different entities and relationships into way more complex segments that are really helpful in your conversations. For example, also whenever your AI agents are helping someone solving an issue, the AI agents can look at the segments that someone is in and therefore also make different choices or advise different things. So these segments have really stepped up, become a lot more complex, and can therefore also help your customers a lot better. Then there are also workflows, of course, which is really helpful because you can automate via workflows. So here's a very clear example of a scheduled birthday wish where the customer context platform fires an event when a profile's birthday is today. Then there are some filters on whether the profile has marketing consent or is a loyal customer. And then Halo, our agentic layer on top of all of our products, sends a WhatsApp via Marketing Cloud and writes the result back. So there's one trigger, every CM capability. And now you've seen it all. You're ready to build. You can do it all. We really think that this way of using context is the next step. We've seen it with the growth of agentic AI, that we are getting more and more smarter models to use in our agentic AI world. But it's not necessarily the models that are the problem. It's the way that can they use the data that you have? It's not necessarily that you don't have data already, but is it stored in a way that your agents can use this data? That is really important. And we really feel like that's the next step. And that's why we've launched our customer context platform. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.